Hey team, okay, so I'm going to send you some training information from Hubspot, and it's about content calendars, social media marketing, and all that kind of stuff. So what I have created is this spreadsheet, and you'll see on the bottom here, we got our master list. This is a key. This is the template. And then I have each one of our agents down here, and I haven't copied and pasted the template over to each individual. So what I am finding is the agents are asking me, like at the end of the month, what have we been doing as far as social, because they want to know, where everything is and what to expect. They are seeing some results with people calling them and commenting on everything that we're doing. So that's really good. We just always want to show them up front the value. So this is modeled after the HubSpot information. Let me see if I can find that really quick. So up here, and I'm going to send this to you. So I want you to read through this so you can understand how it works. I did download the content calendar that they're talking about here. And the one thing that I did not necessarily care for is that everything was on a separate sheet. So whereas here you'll see that I have Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all that on one page. What they actually did is they had one spreadsheet or one workbook, Excel spreadsheet for each person. And then at the bottom, it had like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you had to go to each page for that. And I didn't necessarily like that format. So what I did is I took their framework and I just put it all onto one sheet. And then for each different workbook down here, we'll have that for each agent. So that way we can see everything at once. So let me quickly explain this. So first of all, it's important to know that we do not have to have each one of these lines every single day filled out. So you'll see that this is all for Friday, May 1st. That's when I started the tracking on this. We do not need a piece of content for every single time slot here. This is just a kind of framework. And when I did this, I kind of based it off of the Instagram stuff. So if you see a video, this is not 4 different videos. This is one video scheduled at on 4 different social networks. And you'll see the same thing going down. If you see video, it's that one video on 4 areas. We won't necessarily have a video every single day, but I am encouraging the agents to give me more videos, at least 1 per week. So it's going to kind of depend on when they get it to me and when we post it. And then filling in, we are doing like those mini kind of property videos that highlight properties, and on those ones we don't necessarily need the agent to record anything. We can go ahead, we are creating those and we'll post them in here. So it can be different types of videos. And then for the graphics, you'll see here like a real estate home tip, a lifestyle, which is something either with the agent, or it could be something about the area that they do business in. It could be a restaurant, it could be a local business, it could be anything like that. And then you'll see here real estate home tip, one to Instagram and one's to Facebook. That's actually that would be the same graphic, but posted to 2 different places. Actually 3, because we got LinkedIn here as well. And then going down again, real estate or a home tip. If we have another one on Saturday, we would post it to that same one to these 3 different places on Saturday. If we have a quote, we're going to put the quote on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll notice we don't put the quote on LinkedIn. okay? And that kind of goes back with that key here. And this, I may change this up a little bit, but for now, this is kind of what we're talking about. So if you have a quote, we'll put that on Facebook, we'll put that on Instagram, but none of the other places for now. If we have a testimonial, we'll put that on Facebook and Instagram and probably Google Business. None of the other places for now. Real estate or home tip, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google Biz, and so on and so forth. So that way, that's so you know that if I ask you to create a graphic for a home event, okay, those are the just listed under contract, price reduced and sold, and open houses. So if we have a graphic or a video for a home event, we're going to put that on their Facebook business page, their Instagram account, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And actually, if it's a home event, we would probably put it on their personal as well. So I'm going to add that, change that. See, so some of this may adjust as we move forward and grow into it. If there's an article where we have, we'll put the actual article on LinkedIn, Google Biz, or a blog post once we can do that. And then for Instagram and Facebook, we'll just create a graphic and a link to that article. So that's what that means. So if it's shaded in, we don't put that type of content on those places. So I hope that makes sense. And then the ideal posting schedule, Facebook 5 to 7 times a week, Instagram, YouTube, a video a week. And these are the videos that are a little bit longer, not the mini property videos. They're a little different. LinkedIn, Google Business Post, an email marketing something from MailChimp, and a blog post when we have those. So that's like the ideal posting. That's what we're shooting for as often as possible. And if we don't quite make that, that's okay. But that's just the goal. So back to this, and this will make more sense once you see the HubSpot information. So let's say this is how this is going to be useful for you. So if I ask you, like I just put a, what is that called? A task for you. So for a inspirational quote. So I have a thing saying, here's the quotes, please make the graphics, and then go ahead and post it. So what you can do is you can come over to this and say, okay, so I have a quote. So when do I want to post that? So come down under the subject of the content, just look for something that says quote. So right here we have a quote. So if there has not been something posted yet, you could then you know that you can post that quote on Saturday the 2nd, and then just take the times like here. So 8 o'clock, 9:05. Okay. And another thing, I put this straight up like 8 o'clock, but when you go to post it and you schedule it, make it like a minute or two before after. So like 8:03 or 8:02. And change it up so it doesn't necessarily look like everything is scheduled out. It looks a little bit more organic. So let's say okay, I have another quote. So where would I put that? So now Sunday, there's a spot here for quotes. So you can go ahead and put that quote in on a Sunday. Now, if you have a quote, and let's say it's now Monday the 4th, obviously don't go back and fill in the blanks here. You'll just start on the 4th and say, okay, I have this quote. When would I post it? So just go down and say, okay, Wednesday on the 6th, I have this quote. Here's the quote right here. So you just say what the quote is. So I am powerful, whatever, blah, 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 blah. That's the quote. And then you're going to post that to Instagram at, let's say, 8:01, 8:15, something like that on the 6th. And then also on Facebook. So once you have done that, and it has been posted, it's done, it's completed, it's ready to go, just type in done here. So that way we can go down and say, okay, I know it's been scheduled. We're good to go. So that's that. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, just let me know. And then the other things that we can use this for is, for example, the MailChimp. So let's say I'm going to send a mini newsletter out on a Friday. One of the agents did it this way, and she does it based on what her prior social media manager did. So in that mini, so I thought it was kind of a good idea. So the mini newsletter, then all I need to do is come in and say, okay, what kind of information have we created either this day or maybe it was the day before? Then I just put all that information in that mini newsletter. Boom, it's good. I don't have to think about what else do we need to put in there. It's already been created. I'm just putting it all together and sending it out in an email to the people that are on their list. So it makes it really nice there. And then you'll notice I have some things that are open. So that way if something pops up that, you know, we didn't necessarily plan for and we still want to use it, we just put it in these slots. So that's that. So let's see, what else did I want to show you? So we have the MailChimp, we have YouTube. Okay, so like on YouTube, we've got 2 different time slots here. Let's say we have one video and Monday the 4th is the next available time where we say, hey, we can put a video in here. You can just choose which time slot to put this in. Typically pick the first available one. So if both of these time slots are open, go ahead and choose the one that's in the morning. Because we can always move it around. This just kind of gives us a guide. So that way, again, I'm trying to always help you guys not have to wait for me to say, okay, here's when I want you to post this, because you guys are good enough and fast enough that you know the process. So this way you can just go to this spreadsheet and say, okay, let's go ahead and put that here. Okay, I have a testimonial. We're going to go ahead and put that on the 4th. Okay, and you know that it can go on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. LinkedIn, unfortunately, we can't schedule. So on that one, I mean, I'll have to check in on some of these. And if you guys could probably post to LinkedIn. So let's think about that, because unless it locks you out when you try to log in, like they're asking for security stuff, which might be the case if you're, because of the IP address. So let's come back to that and see if we can do something with that. Okay, I'll think about that. Okay, so then moving across, and again, when you look at the information from HubSpot, this will make more sense. So you put done on this column when it's done. And this is just the day of the month. And what I've done here is let's give this a shot for May and see how it works. And then we can adjust it at the end of the month based on what worked well and what didn't so much, okay? Time of day to post. This isn't like if you post, like if this says 9:05 and you post at 10, it's not the end of the world. These are just suggestions, okay? So if you post at a little different time, that's okay. Just know those are suggestions. Title or the description of the content, so that would be the quote, the title of the article, the tip, you know, like we'll do. So that way we have an idea of what it is. Subject of the content, the type. So is it going to be a, tip, lifestyle, blah, 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 blah. Content format. Is it a video, graphic, photo, or link? Which social platform? Caption. So caption or the description is what you would put in. I'll put description here too. So like on social, if there's certain words that I want you to use when you post it to Facebook, then we'll have that in here. If it's something that's a little bit longer, what I'll do is I'll add the link here that would go to the Drive folder that has the information in there. Because remember, in some of those, especially like Facebook, I might do like a little mini post there where there's maybe you know, a paragraph or two about what the content is. So that's what this is. And then Instagram, you know, if it's just a couple lines, then we'll make it just a couple lines. So that's what you would put in there. And you could actually take that back. When you put that in there, you would add the link going to something if it's longer. So in the, because I would be putting it in the Asana, in here, in Asana. So if we're in here and I'm saying, okay, here's what I want this post to say, I'm either going to link it for you to the Drive folder that has that information. And let me go there and I'll show you. So you know how in here, if I have like this home tips one, I had a document in here that had what I wanted it to say. So what I would do is in that Asana task that I give you, I would put that link. So here, see, Drive folder where you can find the graphics and the post text. Okay, so that's going to have that link. So in our spreadsheet, then here, the caption description, if it's something longer than just like a line or two, you can put the link to where it's located in the Drive folder. So just like we just saw here, you would add this link. So just go here and get the link and then drop it into that. Okay. And if there is an actual link, now this is different from this one, like a call to action link, we'll put it in here. If there's a campaign attached to it, we'll put the name in there. And then the image, same thing. You can go back to the Drive folder where that image is located. So I don't know if we have one here that's quick. Okay, so what we should be doing is putting the graphics in here. So once we've created all those, and they might be in here. Once we created the graphics for that particular thing, then we would have them in this folder. And then you could just get that link right there and you would drop it. Whoops. Drop it into here. So this is telling us where do we find this image? Well, you find it in that Drive folder and here's the link. And then for here, expiration date. So, or evergreen. So if this is something that we're going to post that's only good for like a week or two, then, and I know it's only good for a little while, then we'll put that date in there. If it's evergreen, meaning we can use it over and over again, then we can put evergreen. So that way, if we ever run into a thing in the future and say, okay, what can we reuse? Well, maybe there was something that we posted last winter that we could do again this winter. So we can say, okay, let's go ahead and use that one again. And again, they talk about this in that Hubspot information. Keywords and hashtags, you know what these are, and then any special notes. So that would be what those columns are. Now it seems like a lot, however, it's really not. We're kind of already doing that. We're just expanding on that. So if you remember in this right here, we're already putting some of this information in here, right? So we have, here's the description for what the post was. Here's where we put it. Here's the type it is, and here's the format. So we've already been doing part of that, okay? And then we added for all our people here, which I like. And so now it's simply doing it, and we're separating it off by people. And we'll test that format, because sometimes we're going to have it where everybody gets it and sometimes only some. Okay, so this format where you see all these colors, I would like you to copy and paste that into each person's worksheet. And just come up here, copy, go over to whomever, and I think it's this one. Yep, just like that. So you can do that for every single person, so they have that. Okay, so that's what we'll do for the individuals ones. Now, when we're coming back to here, this part here is going to serve more like what we have already been doing in this one. Okay, so a lot of the same information. Let me get back there. And we can put if it's for the individual agent or for all of them. Most of the time it'll be all of them on this one. Sometimes it'll be individual. And this is all the same. Caption. If it's short, we can just type it in there. If it's a little bit longer, we'll put a link to the actual text folder that's in the drive, like I just showed you. Call to action link, campaign, image link, all that's the same, okay? And then I think what we can add on this one, so that way it's just like this one, is over here, let's add these columns, one for each. And then rather than putting in the date, well, actually you can put the date in. Well, let me think this out, hold on. Just put an X so we know we did it. So like right now, these are our current clients. And if we have a piece of content that we do and we've scheduled it out for them, just go ahead and put an X in here so we know we've done that for that client. Because in here, so let's say you put the X, we're going to know, I mean, it's going to be it's going to show up here as well. Okay. And the reason I would want to do that is because just like with this one, I can come in and say, okay, here's all the content that we've done. And this is, most of the time, this is content that we've done for everybody, right, on this form. So I can say, okay, we've done all this content and we've scheduled it for these clients here. So I can see where the holes are. And I can go back and say, okay, should we haven't posted this for Terry, Tracy, Carolyn, Shannon, Laura, or Tonda. So now we can go back and we can get this quote and create the quote and schedule it, right? And then when we get new clients, now we know, look at all the content that we can create right away and fill up their feeds, their social marketing feeds. So the reason that is good is because right away the agent sees results for what we're doing for them, and that makes them really happy because it's right away. It's like we don't have to ramp up and here it comes. Right away we can say, okay, we got a new client, so let's go back into these social things, create that graphic with their branding on it, and then we'll schedule it. Okay, so it's done right away. And then how do we know where to schedule it? Right here. So we've got our brand new, let's pretend this is a brand new client. Well, here's all the slots that we can fill in. So we just created, you know, all this brand new content for them based on what we've done in the past, right? And now we're going to go in and say, okay, I've got a home tip. We're going to put it on Friday the 1st. We've got another home tip. Let's go ahead and put that on the 2nd. We've got another home tip. We're going to put that on Monday. We've got another home or real estate tip. We're going to put it here. So see all the slots, and then we can just start filling in the slots based on the content that we can create for them. So that way we should be able, with that, I mean, we can fill in like a week or a month ahead of time, and then it's just running. So I hope that makes sense for you. And then one final thing. So real estate and home tip. That is, a real estate tip could be a buyer, seller, investor kind of thing. And a home tip could be, how to organize, how to, home maintenance, stuff like that. So I had them separate for a while, but then I thought, you know what, let's just put them together. So if it's a real estate tip or it's a home tip, we can put that in either way. And the last thing I wanted to show you, just to get you an idea of where some of this is coming from. So this is, we're gonna have to work on this. Right here. So this is Shannon's, and this is what her her marketing manager before us created for her. And what it did is it shows like each one of these, like this is each a type. So selfies, a lifestyle, quotes, videos, stories, hashtags, scheduling, growth goals. So she kind of had, this is an overview of everything we're doing. And then on hers, she has it posted in a very certain pattern. You see how everything is kind of like diagonal here. And there's a nice pattern to it, which looks nice, but you know what? It's kind of crazy to work with. And I just can't imagine doing that with, 10, 20, 30 clients and getting that rhythm. So I think that if we go on this route with this kind of schedule, we'll come pretty close. At least it'll be a nice mix of content and it'll look really good. Even if it's not like exact diagonals, it'll still look nice. So I know this is kind of long and I apologize for that. Gosh, a half hour, sorry. But I wanted to kind of give you the whole thing. So I'm going to drop this template here into the drive, and I'm going to put it where the place that we're working on it now. So right here where the social posts are. Smaller. I think here's where we put it. Yep, social graphics. So I'll put that new template into here, the new spreadsheet. And then I'm also going to put a folder in here. I'll make it so it shows up right at the beginning, and that's where I'll put the HubSpot training information. So you can take a look at it and read through it. They probably explain it a little bit better than I do. So let's give this a shot. Because I have asked the agents to give me more information, which means in turn that we're going to have more things to post for them. And like I said, they are seeing results, so they're very happy. I just want to make sure that I'm not holding you guys up when it comes time to creating stuff and posting it, because we have our templates that we can use, which are good. And then this way you'll know exactly what time and dates and stuff to post everything. If you have any questions, ask, and I will talk to y'all soon. Thanks.